Okay. Can you see me? Forgive the get up. It's cold. I have Manicam on. That's why I've got some sort of weird border. Let me see if I can change it to something more interesting. Okay. Get rid of the flowers. What works? Hearts? Stars? The stars are kind of iTutor colors. Don't think I want that. Okay, anyway. So, the reason I'm here is I'm redoing this video while I'm still recruiting for iTutor. So, some things have changed since I made my first video. I can't really remember what I talked about in that video. It was so long ago. I don't have a plan for this one either. I'm winging it again. So, the most common questions. What is the pay? So the pay varies for everyone. Simple answer. Depends where you're located, where you're from, your cost of living, all that kind of thing, and your experience all come into play. There's two different ways they pay people, and it seemed like if you were from the UK, US, Canada, you got like base pay with bonuses on a 45-minute class. Now it seems like they might be giving this bonus structure to everyone. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. All you need to know is that you'll be paid fairly for where you live, and you can make $1,500 to $2,000 a month part-time. So if you're in the UK, the equivalent of that is you can earn £1,000 a month for working part-time. You can earn up to £3,000 a month if you work full-time. So just equivalent of that in your country, really. And that covers our living costs in the UK and a bit more. We have a good life. I earn about double that most people are earning on minimum wage. I'm not going to go into too many details about the bonus system. It all gets explained when you get brought on. What do you need to work for iTutor? You need a degree. You don't need a TEFL or TESOL to start here, but they will require you to get one within 90 days. You can get that on Groupon for like £20, $20, so it's not a big deal. I run a Facebook group for teachers. I've got multiple links in there of cheap courses. That's called the ESL Teachers Playground. You can search for that on Facebook. And I also share other recruitment posts because I'm not biased. I'm not going to stop you working for more than one company. If there's a company that's going to pay you better, then find it. That's my answer. Like, you deserve to be paid what you're worth. So, how does it work? After you've seen this video, if you're interested, the best thing you could do is send me your CV, your resume, to natashahaley@hotmail.co.uk. I will leave the email address somewhere, depending on where you're watching this. You'll find it. So, yeah, send that over, and I respond with a generic email that I send because I get so many requests like this every day. Like, I'm speaking to hundreds of people every month, like hundreds. So don't be offended if I respond saying send your CV and you've already sent it. I'm sorry, that's just what happens sometimes. So I send over the peak hours and I send over a slideshow. And that's a slideshow that we use to do the mock class. So the interview that we then schedule, I'll write back to you, you'll write back to me, and I'll say, yeah, let's do an interview. We do it on Zoom. So it's like this program that I'm using now. That records the interview, and I can send that to my manager, Suri. She is in China, and she makes the final decision. So, yeah, I send the materials over, and we do a 5-minute mock class within the interview. That normally I focus on the slides with the 3 bears, and it takes about 5 minutes. Depends how well you expand on the content. I have made videos about how I teach those exact slides and others. If you're on YouTube right now, you can click around and you'll find those. If you're on Facebook watching this, then look for Digital Nomad Mummy and you'll find my page. You'll be able to find those videos. If you can't find them, then just do Digital Nomad Mummy in YouTube and you will find those. So you can see exactly how I would teach it. Take away as much of my technique as you want. Add in any of your own. that's great to see. And since I've made that video, I've had people do really cool things that I never thought of before. So, yep, that's one thing. It's hard because when I was teaching, when I made one of those videos, I had my son with me and he kind of played along. So a lot of my focus was sort of looking at him. If you're teaching, one of the really good things you could do, and one of the things they decide your pay on and decide if you're good enough, is using TPR. And that means total physical response. So in the webcam world, that means doing things like when you're going to talk. So for example, if I'm going to say something that I want the student to pay attention to, I'll do this. And then this for I'm listening for you to copy. This, can you see, or can you see, anything like that. I saw one person doing this for no, no. No. Thumbs up, thumbs down, both really good. Waving hello, waving goodbye. Use as much of that as you can as possible in the interview, and bring props. They don't have to be anything special. You could say, and this is blue, and this is green, and this is red. Simple. So using a prop, you will get graded on that, so do it if you can. What else do people ask about iTutorGroup? One of the things we ask in the interview is why you're interested in teaching online and why you're interested in iTutorGroup, so it's good to have a little bit of a look into them. For brief background, they teach 24 hours a day, so that's why they're one of the best companies, because you can teach any time of day or night that works for you. They teach in China, Taiwan, and Japan, so they've got a really large client base. They've been running for a number of years, face-to-face schools in China. They've really got a good reputation. They've got a lot of clients, so they're really busy. People often ask, do I get paid for standby time? No, but really there's not a lot of standby time because they're really busy. So it's not really a big concern. I've worked at other schools where I got paid for my standby, and I was constantly on standby, and it was boring. I was always bored. I was tired because I had nothing to do in that time. I just wanted to teach. So iTutor has been really busy for me. September's the worst month, and it's September right now, so I have had a couple of slots that don't get booked, but then I just go on and book another one because they teach 24 hours a day. I can make that up, no problem. Your extra hours, you can book them from day one, so that's another difference compared to other certain companies who won't open your part-time tab until you're a month or 2 months or however long in they decide that you're able to do extra classes. So from your first day that your account's activated, you can book as many shifts as you want. We have an app, so it's really easy to keep up with stuff. You can see your classes on here. You can see your timetable. You can book more classes. For example, this would be today. It's not very good. Anyway, it says no sessions because I've already taught them. Then say, for example, I went to tomorrow. It's not very full right now. Or maybe it's not very full right now. They'll probably fill it overnight. So you can see I've got a class there. Can't view it yet, but you can view it on the computer. And then this is the best part. You can go in and book slots. It's just a tick box. You tick and untick whenever you want. Once they go grayed out, that means you can untick them. Either that's one of your regular hours or it's too soon to the class starting. So yeah, you can just go in and book whatever you want. Oh, I've got some thumbs up now. I've never had them before. Little thumbs up in those boxes. So you get thumbs up or you get hearts. One means one thing, one means another. I don't know I can't remember which one's which. But basically the student likes you and they've booked that time slot. So then if you book that time slot, you can see them again, probably. So yeah, 24 hours a day, go in, tap, 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 submit. They've got a great cancellation and absence policy. Other companies deduct a percentage of your pay if you're going to take more than 2 days off a month. That doesn't happen here. If you need time off, you need time off. Book it off. Fine. Because we don't teach regular students the way that other companies do, it really doesn't matter if you need time off because someone else can take them. So it's really not a big deal. Book it in as far in advance as possible and you'll be fine. If you need to cancel a class within 24 hours of it happening, you can do that. but it'll go down as a cancellation on your record, and you can only get 6 of them in a 6-month period. But you can get 5, and on the 6th one they would terminate your contract. But you can also have an absence, which means you just don't go to the class. So cancellations, you told them you're not going and they gave your class to someone else. Absences, you just don't go. You can also get 5 of those in a 6-month period. But they also give 1 free pass every month to invalidate one of your absences for a technical error. And then there's a couple other ones you can use if you had a personal emergency and you just didn't turn up to your classes. You can invalidate the absence. So there's really a lot of flexibility. You can, like I say, pick up extra shifts, and as long as it's over 24 hours until it happens, you can just cancel them again if you want to. So that's really good as well. What else? They have a great IT team. They're there 24 hours a day as well. You can ping them in the classroom, or you can ping them in the chat that we have. So we've got our own software for chatting to them. You can speak to schedulers and other people like that on there. They'll also, which I think is really nice, they'll also let you know if there's a busy period, which means that you know that you're like guaranteed to get students. So for example, the Golden Week is coming up. So they've said like Monday to Friday, like this time to this time, we're super busy. Can we put you down? And you can like book them yourself, or you can just say yes or no, whatever you want to do. So it's really nice to know like that's a busy time. So we really need help. So that's great. The minimum hours are 7 per week with 4 on a weekend, and I believe they want 2 on a Sunday. So have a look around here or somewhere. I'll try and leave a link for a peak hours document, and you'll be able to see those. Those are in Beijing time. For you, just Google what your time zone is and then change it with that. So you might be a little bit ahead, but you're probably behind. UK, it's right now 7 hours, but from October it should change to only 6 hours ahead. So in the UK, the peak times are 12:30 till 2:30, Monday to Sunday. There's also 1:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the morning, and another one in between those. But every other slot of the day is available. It's just not considered peak. So there is plenty of options, to be honest. What else do people ask? How much money can you make? Lots. In July, I made like 2.5 grand from teaching between this company and the other one. If I'd taught solely for iTutor, I would have made more. And if I got my attendance bonus, I would have made more. But I didn't even know really what that meant, so I just cancelled shifts and I lost that, which is fine. It would have been about £300, so it's a little bit saddening, but I made enough money. They also offer a lot of training, one of the only companies to offer multiple trainings to get you better. They've got multiple programs, so they teach Oxford University Press, they teach their own material, they teach storytelling, they've got adults, they've got kids. They offer training in every kind of way you can imagine to help you feel comfortable to do these classes. So that's another great thing they've got going for them. So they've got live trainings and pre-recorded. You can move into other directions in the company. Some people write courses, some people recruit and interview, some people, they do specialist classes and they get paid like double to just do these one-on-ones. Some people do like lecture classes, which is like a webinar. So they've got multiple ways you can grow as well. And I believe if you become a teacher representative, you can get invited out to China and go to Shanghai, and yeah, it's really cool. So everybody, a lot of the places you might watch this video is work from home sort of groups. And one of the questions you're probably asking right now is, what's the startup fee? There isn't one. You need a headset. You can use, like this in the beginning if you really need to. They've got a small microphone in it, so that's good. Those are good enough. We all wear a red polo shirt when we teach, so one of those, you can get them really cheap. And we all have this logo behind us. There's ways you can do that. You can print it. Some people get a big banner printed. Some people print it from a printer and tape it together like this. And also, they've made Manicam mandatory, but they give you access to that for free. So other teachers that are listening to this and know how expensive Manicam is, yes, It's free for us, which is great. And as a traveler, you can use, well, as anyone, you can use ManyCam to emit like this background behind you. If you use a certain color and use a chroma key, there's so many tutorials on this. So if it's something you want to look into, don't worry that it probably makes no sense now. But you can use this to emit the background behind you. So there's multiple options on how to do that. In the beginning, I didn't have a lot of time, and I know a lot of people haven't, so they've taught the first few lessons with a clean background, plain, or just a couple of logos behind them. So what else? Payday's the 10th of every month. We get paid for the first till the last day of the month, so you get like the month in one go on the 10th of the next month. The bank that I've got, I get no fees, so exactly what I earn is exactly what goes in my bank. So that's RBS, which I think is a branch with, or they're linked with NatWest in the UK. And there is other people in the support groups that you can find that know banks that do that in other countries. So groups that you should join right now, if you're interested, look up Digital Nomad Mummy on YouTube and Facebook, and like and follow and all that kind of stuff. I do loads of videos on how to do your demo, how to teach classes, how to do this, that, and everything, TPR, whatever. And it'll give you lots of tips. So have a look at that. The second is my Facebook group, ESL Teachers Playground. In there, you can come in and ask questions and communicate with me and everybody that I've brought on already and find out how they feel about things and, I don't know, check their testimonials or whatever. There's actually some reviews on the Digital Nomad Mummy page from people that I've brought in. Over 33 people, I think 34, 35 as of today, have been offered a job through me with iTutorGroup in the past 6 weeks. So that's really good. There's also, if you put in the search bar on Facebook, like iTutorGroup newbies or iTutorGroup /TutorABC, that's a really good group. That's run by other teachers, and that's kind of like our staff room. So you can go in there any time of day or night. There'll be someone who will be able to answer your questions. So that's a really good one to join. You can find me on Facebook or whatever. I'll leave my Facebook link, my pages, my groups, my email, all below. So just contact me if you have any other questions. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and we can arrange an interview.